Hey, Pretty Girl Club, welcome back to the Thin Privilege series. So, this is a spin off of the Beluga series where I talk about kind of the benefits of being thin and how it kind of contributes to enjoying my life as a pretty girl. But one of the pretty girls commented on my bulk recording post and she said, "Can you talk about how to enjoy the summer without focusing on food?" And I think that's a really good topic to talk about because summertime used to be the time where I was a beluga the most, actually, because I was always eating ice cream. I told you guys I used to go to 7-Eleven and I was getting those big giant slushies. So that's very high calorie. That raises your blood sugar. By the way, anytime you raise your blood sugar, your body takes itself out of fat burning mode. And so then you have to wait like 4 hours for your blood sugar to come back down so your body can keep on burning fat. It's just a hot mess. So the summer used to be my biggest beluga season of the year. Well, I would say summertime and then around Christmas, like around the holidays, was also, those were my two biggest beluga seasons. Um, but I just wanted to get this video off my chest so the Exoticals can maintain our sense of social status over the summer because a lot of dusty bitches, they're going to be going to cookouts. They're going to be slurping up on some chicken wings. They're going to be getting drunk off Hennessy. By the way, alcohol is very high calorie. They're going to spend their summers drinking a bunch of frozen margaritas and shit. And they're just going to be going out every day, getting bigger and bigger. They're going to be jiggling and wiggling and badonka-donka-donking all through the summertime. And I want the Exoticals to stay tight and gorgeous. But number one, I am having a hot girl summer right now. I'm having a hot girl summer in terms of being wined and dined and taken on dates. That just happens to be what's going on in my life right now. No, I do not have a boyfriend. No, I am not changing my content. I am still decentering men. Don't worry. But as far as how it has helped me to not be a beluga, so one of the guys, so we went on a workout, like we did our own little workout or whatever, and that's not a date, by the way. But we did a workout, we went trail running, and then after we went trail running, we ended up going to the pool. We were in the jacuzzi. I was swimming. Well, he was trying to teach me some different swimming techniques. So that is still not being a beluga. That's still a form of being active because I'm moving my body. I'm not thinking about eating a bunch of cheeseburgers. I'm out enjoying myself. So this week alone, actually, I've been to two pools. So one is with one of the guys that's trying to like pursue me right now. Another one is with this other guy. You guys really like him in the Patreon. You guys are like rooting for me to pick him. I don't think I'm gonna like pick him though. But he also has a pool, so we went swimming in his pool as well. So that's already two extra swimming sessions. And then tomorrow, my other friend, she just moved here actually. She is new to the city and I love her because we go everywhere together. So her apartment building is having a pool party tomorrow. So I don't know if they have this in your city, but if you live in like a luxury apartment building, sometimes they have events. So they might have like a little barbecue. Maybe they have like a little happy hour. Like that's what my building does too. I've never really gone to anything at my building. I just feel like summertime is when people are out and about. Summertime is really when your pretty privilege starts to stand out because I have no idea why, but I just feel like there's something about this weather where it just makes people want to wine and dine you because even in my apartment, I was in the elevator the other day and some guy in the elevator, he literally just asked me out just right on the spot. I ended up ghosting him though because I'm just not attracted to him. Um but I feel like part of what makes me stay skinny is having other shit going for myself or just having other stuff that I'm focusing on. Like, I feel like 50% of why I'm thin is because I genuinely am not just thinking about food all day. I have other stuff to look forward to. I have other things to focus on. Like today, actually, this morning. Should I be eating right now? Yeah, I probably should. I mean, I'm not hungry right now, but most people would be eating breakfast right now. Instead, I decided to record an extra video and get ahead on content because why not? I just saw the comment. I feel inspired. I have a lot to talk about in this area. I can talk about thin privilege for hours. The thin privilege is always going to be better than a fucking cupcake. eat cupcakes, you'll be built like a cupcake. But I'm going to be getting wined and dined this summer. I'm going to my friend's pool party tomorrow, so we're going to be swimming or just walking around being cute in our bikinis. Another one of my goals is I want to wear all of my bikinis. I have probably at least 50 bikinis. So I went on a bikini shopping spree. This was last year, before me and my friends went to Mexico. I went on a shopping spree and I just never ended up wearing all the bikinis. So when we were out there, I just ended up wearing my one piece because I felt like I'm always wearing bikinis. Let me show my one pieces some love. So I don't know if you guys are like this, but I have a wide variety of swimsuits. So I've got the bikinis. I used to have a tankini, but now like it's too big, so I had to throw it away. But I have the regular bikinis. I have the strappy ones where it's like it has a bikini top and then the string ties around your stomach and back. So it kind of ties around your waist. I have those. So I just have a lot of bikini items that I want to wear. So I have also been going to my apartment pool more often. I was going to go there last night actually so I could watch Love Island. But I didn't end up going because I didn't get my 10K steps in. Oh, by the way, my 10K steps are a non negotiable baseline. That's another way that I will be staying thin this summer without focusing on food. If I didn't get my 10K steps in, what the fuck am I doing? That means I'm doing too much. I'm doing too much. If I don't get my 10K steps in every day, it means that I am neglecting myself in some way. It means I need to stop recording. It means I need to get off work. It means I need to cancel something because I will never neglect my body for anybody. And that was a promise I made to myself actually when I started this channel because I feel like as a content creator, it's very easy to become chronically online. Well, just in general, actually, not even as a creator, but just in general, it's very easy to end up being chronically online and it's easy to end up just sitting on your bed, scrolling or whatever. It kind of like watching other people live their lives. And so, one of the promises I made to myself was that I will never do that. Every day I need to be getting my 10K steps in. Oh, but it's 10 p.m. and I have 6,000 steps. I'm not about to do 4,000 steps right now at 10 p.m. Yes, I am, actually. And that's exactly what I did last night. Last night, I had a lot going on. I had several deadlines that I missed. That's for the other side of my business. That's not a part of Exoticals United. I had several deadlines I missed. Yesterday was busy as fuck. I had a lot going on. I had an event yesterday evening, actually. Me and my friend, okay, so me and my friend that I haven't seen in a couple weeks, she was spilling the tea about her guy that she's with right now. She doesn't want a boyfriend. She just wants to have this, friends with benefits type of guy. And I was spilling the tea about all my drama. So my drama is on Patreon. Well, it may be gone from Patreon by the time you join at this point. But Patreon is all audio, and the members page is extra videos. So if you're wondering what the difference is between them, that's what the difference is. Also on the members page, if you guys see anything on the Patreon that you want me to turn into a video, then I will. Patreon doesn't get that benefit. So that's the difference between those. But last night I was with my friend. We were spilling the tea about guys. Also, guess what I did last night? I literally went to a twerking class last night. I know it's really random. Like me and my friends, okay, so they're white. Me and my friends literally went to a twerking class and it was the most random thing ever. So it was kind of like they did twerking and then they did like yoga stretching and stuff. So I guess you could say it was kind of like a mix of both. Um, and then we were like in downward dog, and then they were like, okay, now hit the twerk. They had like the music playing or whatever, and then they were kind of showing us how to do it. They were like, okay, bend your knees and then do it like this. So that's why I'm not a beluga. It's because I was literally focused on twerking last night. I was not focused on, oh my God, what kind of takeout can I eat? Also, in this economy, do you see the economy we're in right now? You know what? I was shocked actually because I was driving down the street too, and my favorite coffee shop, I have been going there for probably about a year, but I stopped going because the price of coffee has doubled in the past few years. Like the price of coffee has gone up a lot. And so once I found out, when I looked at my bank statements, I saw that I was spending about $350 per month on coffee shops because I'm a basic bitch. So I was like, oh no, we gotta tighten that up. So I stopped going to my favorite coffee shop. The other day I drove over there, the coffee shop is for lease. I was like, oh my God, they went out of business. It's probably because I stopped shopping there. I was probably keeping them in business. But like, this economy is crazy right now. I don't know how people have all this extra money to spend on going to restaurants every day, getting DoorDash every day, getting takeout, getting these $7 coffees that are 500 calories. I will admit though, part of why I stopped drinking iced lattes is because it would make me full to where I wouldn't eat anything else. And that's bad. You know, I shouldn't be surviving off of iced lattes and cabbage. That's not a good, that's not a good way to live my life. So that's part of why I also stopped with the latte habit. It's because the milk in the latte would make me super full, or I would just eat normally, or I would just be like, fuck it, and then just eat a bunch of bullshit. And then I would always get tempted at the cafes because they have these giant chocolate chip cookies at my favorite coffee shop. It's like a big chocolate chip cookie that's like the size of your head. And then it has like the chocolate chips that are a square. So it's more like a chocolate chunk. So it has the square chocolate chips and it has the regular chocolate chips in it. So whenever I go there, I would always get tempted to get that. So it's like, okay, that's already 2,000 calories right there. So why would I do that? And then spending $350 per month so I could become fat, that makes no fucking sense. That makes no fucking sense. So it was crazy because it seems like a lot of other girls in my city, they're starting to think like me. They're like, look, we're not going to keep going to all these coffee shops, spending up our money, becoming belugas. And I live in a nice neighborhood in my city. And I just feel like a lot of the leveled up girls or the girls who live in these nicer areas, we don't have time to look bad. Like, that's another thing. You know how you watch like Shira 7 and stuff, and then she'll be like, oh, hang out in the nice part of town, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, I agree. Like, that's a part of being in the nice part of town, too. You don't see fat people. Like, this sounds extremely fucked up and classist, but I don't even see a lot of big people. Like, I can't think of the last time that I saw an obese person. Well, actually, no, I saw somebody that was kind of big when I was at the event. Um, but yeah, I don't really come across a lot of obese people, and I'm in a lot of environments where I'm surrounded by very beautiful women, and the men are also extremely in shape. Like, I'm talking abs, I'm talking arms, biceps, tall, strong legs, strong calves. So I'm just immersed in a culture. I'm immersed in skinny culture, for lack of better words. I'm immersed in that culture. So if you live in a city that's similar to mine, I can't dox where I live, but like if you live in Los Angeles, you live in Miami, you live in Houston, you live in Atlanta, you live in Chicago, I don't know, some major city, New York, DC, Boston, you're probably coming across a lot of people who are fit. So, yeah, there may be fat people, but there are probably a lot of fit people as well. And I hear a lot of people, they'll be like, oh, well, Atlanta is ratchet. Oh, well, Miami is ratchet. No, every city has the good side and they have a ghetto side. So if you're saying an entire city is ratchet, all you're doing is you're telling me what side of the city you hang out in. You're telling me what side of the city you're dating in. You're telling me what side you live on. So you live on the ratchet side. You live in the fat side of town. So that's why you think, oh, everybody's obese. And it's crazy because I've noticed that, especially in the South, a lot of people stereotype the South as being extremely fat. Like, no matter where you go, there are going to be obese people. And it's like, again, go to the nice areas in the South. Go to, I mean, I can't name any examples, but it's like whatever the nice cities are and neighborhoods, go to those areas. When you go to the dog park in the richest neighborhood in town, do you think all those soccer moms are going to be obese? All those Pilates moms, all those Pilates princesses, you're telling me that we've got an entire Pilates princess culture. We've got running clubs booming right now. Sand volleyball is booming right now because it's the fucking summertime. And you're telling me that all you're around is obese people? Okay, so if you're dusty, just say it. You're entrenched in beluga culture. Being a beluga is a culture, and being thin is a culture as well. So I think another part of how I stay thin and like how I'm going to be thin this summer is literally because I am surrounded by people who are very in shape. I can't afford to become big. Like, I literally can't. That doesn't even make any sense. That will affect my lifestyle. it'll probably make my income go down because I can't even think straight when I have a bad diet. Like, I'm not even kidding. I told you guys the story about how I ate the Cinnabon. I ate an entire Cinnabon a couple years ago, and obviously I'm skinny. I don't usually eat like that. And I hadn't had a Cinnabon in about 10 or 15 years. So, like a crazy person, and this was around the holidays, of course I decided to eat an entire Cinnabon, and then I had extra frosting. I immediately was in a terrible mood. I was immediately in a bad mood, and I was like, that's crazy how sugar can like make you angry. I mean, it didn't make me angry like enraged or anything, but it made my mood go down. I was already mad because I was mad at myself. But also the blood sugar fluctuation, your body is not meant to have extreme blood sugar spikes and dips like that. And so it does make you more tired and like lethargic, and it makes you feel drained. So I'm not going through that. But last night I was with my friend. We went to the twerking class, and I actually just looked up last night too because one of my other friends, she happens to be white, and she was telling me that she wants to learn like how to dance kind of like black people basically, because the guy she's dating right now is a black guy. And I was like, oh yeah, I need to like, do my twerking skills as well. So last night I was looking up if they had any classes where they do twerking. And not pole. I've done pole before. I've done those dance classes. That's too difficult for me. Well, I haven't done it actually. The last time I did it, I was a struggle medium, so that's probably why it was difficult. I don't know. But I also have noodle arms, so I can't really pick myself up and like climb super high on the pole like how my friends can. Um, but I was looking up a twerking class last night, and when I see my friend tomorrow, when I go with her to the pool party, I'm probably gonna ask her, if she wants to go to the twerk class. They only have it once a month, so the next one is gonna be in July. So that's another way I'm gonna stay thin. I'm constantly searching for fun workout classes. I'm not searching for fucking DoorDash. I'm not searching for fried chicken and catfish. I'm not searching for fucking ice cream and a bunch of beluga meals. You want to know what my candy bars are? My candy bars are protein bars. That's my version of candy. I have not had a candy bar in, let's see, when was the last time I had a candy bar? I can't even remember when I had a candy bar. It's not that long ago though. Probably like 6 months ago. Whenever I do get a candy bar, it tends to be from the gas station. So I think the last time I went over to the gas station, yeah, it was probably 6 months ago. Um, but tomorrow, me and my friend, we're gonna be planning out going to the twerking class. Also, me and that same friend, we also went to the festival. We went to a food festival. It was like a cultural festival. I don't know if they have this in your city, but me and my friends like to go to all the different festivals: the Italian festival, the Japanese festival, the Chinese festival, Carnival, if they have it, if they celebrate it, Juneteenth festival, anything where we're going to be doing a lot of walking. That's my shit right there. That is my shit. So that's part of how I stay thin. And then let's say we're going to be walking at a food festival. I will pre plan, okay, how much food am I going to eat and how much money am I going to spend? I don't just walk in there like a fat ass and then I'm like, oh, let me spend $200 and just try everything on the menu. No, because that's idiotic. You just paid $200 to become fat and look bad and to have fucking diarrhea and IBS. So why would I pay money for that? You just paid money so you could have parasites in your gut. That is not very smart. And by the way, I'm saying this because I learned the lesson the hard way, because last month me and my other friend, we took the subway down to this random food festival, and I hadn't had sweets in a while. I was doing really good. I was on a no sugar kick. And then, of course, they had fucking marshmallows on a stick. Have you ever seen those kebabs? It kind of looks like a shish kebab, but it is marshmallows and strawberries and chocolate. Like it's dipped in chocolate. And then they have like graham cracker crumbs on the outside. Maybe they have sprinkles or they have nuts on the outside. So I fell for the bait and I ended up getting one of those. When I tell you, my stomach immediately was like, oh, hell no, take this shit out of my body. What is this? My stomach was immediately like, I have to go to the bathroom. We had to leave. Like, I swear to God, we had to leave the food festival because all they had was honey buckets. And I was like, oh no, I can't do a honey bucket. Like, this type of bathroom that I need a real toilet because I'm going to be in there for a while, so I can't do the honey bucket. So me and my friend literally had to leave the event and get back on the train and go home. The whole night was canceled because I decided to be a beluga and eat something that I knew was going to be bad. I decided to eat something where I knew it was going to make my stomach upset because I just got done basically doing a cleanse. I don't know if you guys have ever done stuff like that where maybe you don't do a juice cleanse or a gut cleanse, but you will purposely eat clean and you're trying to kind of balance out your gut. So I just got done doing that and then decided to completely fuck it up by eating the kebab, and then I immediately had to go to the bathroom. So the whole thing was canceled. And it's like, I don't want to spend my summer like that. I don't want to spend my summer stuffing my face and boo booing. And that's all I do all summer. Just laying on the couch, laying on my bed, eating a bunch of hot Cheetos, getting Cheeto crumbs on my nails, walking around with Cheeto crumbs on the side of my face. That's not cute. But I'm also sitting here recording this. I have my apple cider vinegar water next to me. So it doesn't really smell the best in here. But to be honest, I don't always have my sense of smell anyway because I do have allergies. So sometimes my nose, I don't know why my smell, it just sometimes goes away. But my nose doesn't feel stuffy. So that's just a random thing. But I will be spending my summer drinking all of the fancy drinks. You guys know I love a good fancy drink. So water with apple cider vinegar. I've got some extra protein powder. Like I just got a new one that I'm going to be trying. I drink electrolytes. Yesterday, I also stopped at the store because again, I need to be eating fruits and vegetables every day. So right now I'm on my vegetable kick. I'm on my fruit kick right now because I just feel like my body needs a little bit more support in that area. Um, so I went to the store yesterday and they had watermelons on sale. They had the personal watermelons and it was only like $4 for like a, it's like a bowling ball size of watermelon. Instead of having a bowling ball stomach, how about I eat a bowling ball worth of watermelon? How about them apples? How about I eat some apples? So that's what I did yesterday, and it was so funny because I walked into the grocery store looking crusty, or so I thought, and I just had my cart, and I could smell from a distance. I smelled the most beautiful, fresh smell of peaches, and I'm not that big of a peach person. I'm not huge on peaches, but it just smelled so good, and it smelled so sweet. And so I walked over to the produce aisle, and I was just looking at the peaches. I ended up getting some peaches and I was like, wow, that's amazing. I love that my body has gotten to a place where instead of me smelling fucking fried processed food, like McDonald's smells disgusting to me. It literally smells like burning plastic. That is how McDonald's smells to me. That's how a lot of fast food places smell to me, actually. It has a burning plastic smell. It almost has like a burning rubber smell to me. I know most people are going to disagree because most people eat that, but I don't even identify that as food anymore. And so I actually thought that that was really great progress. The fact that I was walking through the grocery store in the produce aisle and I smelled these lovely peaches and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get some. And then I was like standing there for 5 minutes. I was talking to Chat GPT. I was looking up on Chat GPT like how to pick the sweetest peaches, like how to tell if it's ripe. So that is another one of my skinny hacks. Instead of me looking up how to cook some bullshit, like trying to cook all this mac and cheese and, learning how to bake cakes and stuff like that, because I used to love baking actually. And I still do bake every once in a while, but I don't really bake cupcakes and stuff anymore. But now I've noticed that on ChatGPT, if you look at my history on there, it's going to show like how to choose the sweetest peaches, how to tell if a watermelon is ripe, what color should the watermelon be, how to make sure that the watermelon is not mushy. I don't know. That's what I've been thinking about. That's literally a part of my skinny girl summer. Something else that I will do is whenever I go to the grocery store, I live in a big city, so there are millions of people here and everywhere is fucking crowded, so it's annoying as fuck. But I obviously have to park far away. So I literally, like I'm not kidding, I will be parked like a good 8 to 900 feet away from the grocery store because that's how bad it is in terms of like parking and like in terms of it being crowded. So whenever I am at the grocery store, I make sure to walk across the parking lot. I will get my cart from the parking lot because there are a bunch of old people in the grocery store and then they always take a long time to get their carts in the actual store. So I'll go get my cart and then that's when I will usually FaceTime someone. So I'll FaceTime my mom and dad. I might FaceTime, if there's a guy trying to pursue me or something, I might FaceTime him. I might just, I don't know, randomly start recording. I've actually recorded Patreon episodes before when I was just in the car. I will just record them on my phone. So that's another way that I am staying thin. It's because I'm doing other stuff besides just like, oh my God, I'm so excited about food. And don't get me wrong, I do enjoy food, but I feel like food has become more of a background character. Food is no longer the main character in my life. I'm the main character. So I'll have my cart and then I'm over here FaceTiming and looking cute and I'm just walking around, I'm getting my steps in. And then I love browsing the protein bar aisle. I know it's processed protein. It's not healthy, but bitch, that's my fucking candy. I don't eat candy bars, I eat protein bars. So, I enjoy sometimes when I go to the fancy store, I'll browse their protein bars. I love browsing like the juices, like the ginger shots and stuff like that. I love that aisle of the grocery store, the supplement aisle. So I'm always kind of scoping it out to see like, okay, what new stuff do they have? Oh, nice. They have like sea moss and I don't know. I'm always looking over there and kind of like trying out new stuff. So that's something else that kind of keeps me thin. That's me thinking about health food products. I'm a part of fitness culture. I'm a part of health and wellness culture instead of beluga culture. So think about the types of stuff that you scroll on. Think about what aisles in the grocery store you spend the most time in. Do you spend all your time in the bakery aisle? Because that used to be my beluga aisle. When I was a beluga, that I was always in the fucking bakery aisle. I was always in the dairy aisle. Ice cream, getting fucking coffee creamer, getting the Coffee Mate coffee creamer, which is extremely sweet. Don't get me wrong, it tastes wonderful. It tastes great. I actually used to love making their lattes, especially around Christmas time. Oh my gosh, I would feel so festive drinking my little Coffee Mate gingerbread latte, but guess what? We're past that. So now, if I want to get an iced coffee, I will use my ClassPass credits. I sound like such a basic bitch. I sound so basic. But no, seriously, I will use my fucking ClassPass credits because in my city, you can use the credits to get food and drinks. And usually the food and the drinks that they have on there, it's health food stores. So I can use my credits to go and get a salad if I want. I can go get an acai bowl. I can go get an iced Americano instead of an iced latte. And if I want it to be sweet, I can ask for some sugar-free vanilla, or I can just do my own, like Splenda, Stevia, Equal, Truvia, anything other than the white cane sugar. So that's kind of how I still enjoy this feeling of, oh, it's summertime and I'm being girly. That's how I enjoy myself without becoming a beluga. And then I'm trying to think of what else I did. So last week, me and my other two friends, we went to this random running club. I don't think I'm going to end up going back there. Well, it was fun. Like, I don't have a problem going there, but I ended up seeing Corbin. For those of you who are a part of the Patreon, Corbin's the one I told the story about. He's this random dusty guy that I cut off or whatever. He was just getting on my nerves. So, but we did an activity that was not food focused. That's an example of doing something else besides eating food. So when you're going to places like that, you're playing volleyball. Oh, as a matter of fact, a couple weeks ago too, me and my friend, the same friend, we went to a volleyball meetup. So that's what we were doing. We were playing volleyball, and they were talking about anime and stuff, and it was crazy. They were like trying to cock block each other so they could talk to me and my friend, and like it was very dusty and it was very like dramatic. Um, so those are the types of activities I do with my friends. I don't hang out with friends who are a part of beluga culture. In fact, I think I might have mentioned this too. I have actually distanced myself from a couple of girls because they kept on inviting me to brunch all the time. Everything is brunch. Everything is daiquiris. Everything is fucking, let's go get wings. Let's go to this place. They have this food deal. Oh, they've got $5 tacos. And no. So I literally had to text the group chat and say, hey, I prefer to do cheap events or free events, number one. And then I also prefer to do non food focused events. So that's a boundary that I have set with my friends. If you're dating, so like even in my case, if a guy is trying to pursue me or something, we will do non food focused events. Well, I haven't had to say that with like in my current situations, but that is something I've said in the past is like, I do prefer to do something else. So some other ideas, you can do something active, you can go on a boat, you can go sailing. Well, it depends on where you live. If they have a lake or if they have an ocean where you live, you can go like river rafting, you can go tubing, you can go kayaking. Those are examples of things you can do that are not food focused. And I know that, especially in dating culture as well, there is a huge emphasis on whining and dining, but whining and dining makes you fat though over time. It can. Most people are not disciplined enough to just eat a little bite. You know how they say taste everything, eat nothing? Most people can't do that. If they could, then they would. So even when it comes to dating culture as well, I think it's important, if you are being wined and dined, maybe choose more of a healthy, focused place, or you could just do some other activities. So you can start thinking about that, or you can just, only pick the guys where they do activities that are not just focused on food. So, for example, he can take you to the golf range or something, and then you guys are walking around, you're getting a ton of steps in, you're walking around, you're driving in the golf cart, maybe somebody's carrying your clubs or maybe he's carrying the clubs, and then after that you can go and get something light like a salad, or you can get an acai bowl, whatever you need to make you feel fueled. In my case, I feel like a salad would be best for me in that scenario. Maybe like a fruit salad, but I would need some protein for sure. So I don't know, maybe like a salmon, some sort of salmon salad. But then again, I don't really like eating hot stuff. Like if I'm hot and sweaty, I don't want to go into a restaurant and then have something hot. So maybe a fruit smoothie and then just adding some protein in there. Usually, if you go to a smoothie shop, you can ask them, like, hey, can you add this in there? And they will. So that's something to think about as well. Like, that's part of what I've been doing. Me and my friends, we do so much random stuff, like going on some sort of boat. And when I say going on a boat, it doesn't have to be a huge yacht or anything. It could be like, the small boats where like you paddle with your feet. You can rent them, go out to the lake somewhere, and you can rent those small boats. I've done stuff like that with my friends. Roller skating. I haven't been skating in a while, so I'm probably going to sell my skates. I have these really cute skates that like they light up and everything. They're like really colorful. But that was something I did a while back. One of my friends, for her birthday actually, we went to the skating rink. We didn't go and get chicken wings and fucking Cheetos and Doritos. We didn't go eat burgers and chips on the side. No, we went to the skating rink, and it was just not centered around food. It was so funny because actually one of my friends, she was like, "Oh, I know every time I'm with Exoticals United, I'm not going to eat." So, I've pretty much got used to that. And I was thinking, good, thank you. I'm glad that you got used to that, because I'd rather have my friend adapt to my habits as opposed to that friend pressuring me to adapt her habits. So if I do want to hang out with a friend for lunch, we're probably going to go to a coffee shop. We are probably not going to an actual food restaurant. We're going to go and get something light. Okay, so I'm more of a liquid person versus a heavy carb person. A lot of people are belugas because they're overeating on carbs. So if it's not protein, it's probably carbs or fat, but most likely it's carbs. You're eating a bunch of fries, a bunch of chips, a bunch of bread, bagels, cupcakes, muffins, donuts. That's all carbs. Pizza, that's carbs. And carbs are not bad. I actually need carbs in order to have energy. I will have strong cravings if I don't have carbs, but I need to have complex carbs. I need to have carbs that come from vegetables. So I found carbs that work for me. So my body loves orange carbs. I have no idea why, but that's just what my body loves. Sweet potatoes, yams, um, pumpkin. That's the type of stuff I've been eating for breakfast or lunch. I don't know why. My body just loves it. my body feels so good and it feels very nourished when I have that. So I think also finding a carb that works for me so then I'm not craving like processed carbs. It's such a big difference. And for some people, they like rice. I don't like rice like that. I mean, I'm not against rice, but I just feel like if I'm going to eat a carb, I want my carb to taste good. I want to feel nourished. Have you ever eaten something and then your stomach just feels so satisfied? You feel really good. You don't feel overly full. You don't feel like this carb crash. I feel that way when it comes to my orange carbs. So my sweet potato, my yams, my pumpkin, that's how I feel. So I love having that stuff. I will eat that stuff for breakfast. Um, and it just makes me feel good. But I'm trying to think of what else I'm going to be doing that will not be a beluga activity. Oh, okay. So I'm just looking at my calendar right now just to see what I have in here. Um, so on next week, so I have my weekly language class. I am practicing a second language. Well, actually, now I'm on my third language. So that takes up a lot of time. You know, I have to go to these classes. I actually have an AI tutor, so that helps me to learn the language. So I will go to a coffee shop. So instead of going to a restaurant and sitting there by myself slurping up on some wings, I will sometimes go to a coffee shop, and that's where I'll do my AI tutoring session. So I'll just get my typical iced Americano, which is 0 calories. If you put syrup in it, like one of my favorite coffee shops, they have an iced peach Americano. They also have orange juice. They pour orange juice into your coffee, or it's like a cup of orange juice and they put a shot of espresso in there. It sounds disgusting, but it actually tastes wonderful. So sometimes I'll go in there and I'll get that. I've only got the orange juice thing a couple times because orange juice is actually it's extremely unhealthy. It raises your blood sugar. It has no fiber in it. It's pretty much just a waste of time and calories. So if you drink orange juice, you're probably going to struggle with being a beluga. I've never met anyone who is extremely lean who drinks a lot of orange juice. But that's another thing I'm doing though is I need to practice my other two languages. So remember how I said my goal is to become a polyglot? So a polyglot is like a person that can speak fluently several languages. I want to travel the world. Okay, I am multicultural. I want to be able to connect with more people. So what better way to connect than to speak the languages? So with my AI tutor, um, I will just log on to the app, and I have to pay for the app, by the way. So basically, it's kind of like a FaceTime call with this AI person. So it looks like a Sims person or whatever talking to you on the other side. And then it just asks you questions, you know? So like it asks me questions in Portuguese, and then I have to respond, and then it'll correct me if I'm wrong. So that's another activity that I have to do. I do that weekly. So I do 2 hours per week with that. Well, I do 2 hours per week on a class, and then whenever I remember, I will also use my AI app, and then I have Duolingo. So that's all I'm doing for now with that language because that's very casual, but it's still one of my hobbies. So yeah, instead of stuffing my face, I would rather use my mouth to learn a new language instead of using my mouth to eat food that's going to make me look terrible. And then something else that happened with that was when I was at my class, I was talking to the teacher. So there are two guys who are like the teachers of the class. And we were talking about creating a WhatsApp group. So we made a WhatsApp group now. So now, if anybody wants to practice the language, they can just message the group and then we can meet up at a coffee shop. So that's an activity that I'm doing that has nothing to do with being a beluga. I just feel like people who center their life around food, they are dusty. Their life is boring. They have nothing to look forward to. They have nothing interesting going on. There's nothing interesting about themselves. Their schedule is trash. They're a boring person. They never schedule anything for themselves because they don't care about themselves. They neglect themselves. So they're not doing any activities to nourish their mind. You know, they're not nourishing their mind. They're not nourishing their body. They're not nurturing their friendships. They don't have any friends or family members or whatever. And I understand if, like, maybe you had toxic friendships or toxic family, but I have never on this channel promoted staying isolated for the rest of your life. That has been proven to make you mentally ill. They literally have studies on solitary confinement, they have studies on social isolation and how it literally makes social anxiety worse. It contributes to depression and other mental illnesses. So I would never tell the exoticals to like hide themselves from the world. No, that's the exact opposite of what I talk about on here. I want the Pretty Girl Club to go out and experience the world. I want you to have friends. And by the way, all you have to do is figure out what your hater archetype is and then go for the opposite of that. And that's how you make friends. So in my case, my hater archetype is usually loud, ghetto, or trashy women. So these could be like hood women, like hood boogers, or they could be like the trailer trash types of women. That's usually my hater archetype. My hater archetype also tends to be extremely male centered. So, especially if they're black male centered in particular. Well, actually, no, I'll just say male centered. They tend to be black male centered, sometimes white male centered. Like, that's what I noticed about Mary. She was my Beluga manager. So, that's my hater archetype. So, all I have to do if I want to make friends is go for the opposite of that. So, that would be somebody who's skinny and someone who is either more suburban or they are upwardly mobile in terms of socioeconomic status. So maybe they're moving out of the hood. They want to get out of poverty. They want to move up in life. And then they're decentered from men. So when I talk to her, she's not talking about, comparing herself to me or comparing her dating life to what I'm doing and stuff. So that's how I make friends and kind of maintain my friendships. So that's an activity that I do outside of food. So the women who are just eating food, it's because the food is the number one thing they have to look forward to. The food is their main source of joy. It's their main source of excitement. It's going and driving to the cookie shop. It's going and driving to the cake shop. And it's like, I'm not saying you can't eat the cake, but if I'm going to eat the cake, I'm going to call a friend and we're going to walk. We're going to walk a mile or a couple miles, and then we're going to spill the tea about what's going on in our lives, and we're going to talk our shit, and then we're going to get the cake, and then we're going to walk back. And we're going to bring our cake in boxes because we're not going to eat the entire cake when we're sitting at the diner. I told you guys I literally did that a couple weeks ago. Me and my friend stayed out till like 5 a.m., which was crazy. That was crazy as fuck. That was so much fun though. I don't usually stay out until 5 a.m. We're literally both in our mid 30s. But no, like we stayed out till 5 a.m. because I was her wingman. This guy had asked her out and, she needed a wingman because the guy brought a friend and they were going to be hanging out in my neighborhood, kind of bar hopping and stuff. And so, I was her wingman. So I went there to meet her. And then his wingman was actually attractive. So she's into Indian guys. And so the Indian guy, he was actually tall. I've never seen an Indian man that tall. So he was actually tall. He was probably like 6'2", 6'3", and he was like attractive or whatever. And no, we did not do anything because like I said, I am decentered from men. So no, I didn't sleep with him. No, I did not try to flirt or like do anything extreme. No, I just had fun that night. All of us danced. I don't drink, so I got, the guy got me like a ginger ale or whatever. And then whenever my friend was ready to leave, then we just left. And by the way, being a wingman, that's not a bad idea because, that's part of me also being safe. Like me and my friend are also being safe as well because, there are two of us. So after we went there, then we went over to the 24-hour diner. We just walked over there. We had like a nice long walk. Sometimes with that same friend, we have walked over to like the food truck areas because occasionally they will have some late night food trucks. Sometimes we don't get food, we just kind of sit over there and hang out. We've just done some crazy stuff together. We're very adventurous. So that's what we did. We walked over, we were at the diner. She actually got a meal. She was shocked that I didn't get any food just because of how much dancing and stuff we were doing. But I didn't do that because I don't usually eat at 1 a.m. So why would I suddenly start eating at 1 a.m.? Just because I'm outside doesn't mean I have to eat. Just because I was dancing, that doesn't mean I have to eat. Just because it's late at night and I've been moving my body, that doesn't mean I need another meal. So I don't like to knock my body off of its natural rhythm. So if my natural rhythm is I'm done eating at 5 p.m. or whatever, then I'm not going to change that. So we just went out. I got my little stuff. I had a cup of tea. And then we just talked. We spilled the tea while drinking our tea. And then we walked back and we had a lot of fun. And so that's another example of how I hang out and, how I enjoy my summer without becoming a beluga. Okay, but let me look at my calendar here to see what else I have going on. Okay, so Juneteenth is next week. So I've got some stuff on my calendar for that. The World Cup is going on. So me and my friends are going to, so they have kind of like this, I don't know what to call it. Maybe it's like a sports bar district. That's the best way I can describe it. But they have a lot of fan events going on, just like free events. So me and my friend, we already ordered our shirts. We got matching shirts, and we're both going to be wearing the same color and stuff. We're kind of like coordinating our outfits. And so I just got mine. I actually just got the text saying that the package was delivered. So I need to pick that up from the lockers, and I need to prepare for when we go to that event. So that's something else I'm doing. I'm doing World Cup stuff. Just like having fun with that, going out. And I don't even watch soccer normally, but in my city, it's very popular. I don't even know how often the World Cup is. I don't know if it's every year or every 4 years or what. But for whatever reason, in my city, I've lived here for a few years, and this is the first time where the World Cup is like people are talking about it and stuff, and they're going out so they can like watch it. So that's what me and my friends are going to do. Another thing, a couple weeks ago, I went to play pool. So, I was trying to like learn how to do the pool. Have you ever tried to play pool and like you try to hit the ball from behind you? So I was trying to work on my cute little moves like that. Um, I know that's really random, but that's what I've been doing. And then I told you guys, like, if I already have my 10K steps for the day, and then maybe it's late at night and I don't feel like going to bed, guess what? I'm going to utilize my apartment amenities. I'm paying for these amenities. So, damn right, I'm going to be in the game room. Damn right, I'm going to be in the business center. Hell yeah, I'm going to be at the pool. Yes, I'm going to be using the outdoor grill and the outdoor kitchen that they have. So, using my amenities, that's very important to me as well. Because if I'm not using it, I'm wasting my money. That's financially irresponsible. That's also very stupid and very dusty. Why would you move to an apartment? You spent all that time and money to move to that building just so you could not use the amenities? That makes no sense. So, yes, I will try to use my amenities. So I've gone to the pool sometimes at like 10 p.m. and then I just put in my earphones. I will listen to Level Up Guru. She's a content creator on here. I always listen to her like when I'm at the pool. Sometimes I'll listen to my other languages that I'm trying to learn. So I will watch vlogs in those languages, and it helps me to kind of get used to the sounds and stuff like that. So that's what I will do. Or I'll just like, okay, have you ever tried to like doggy paddle in the pool? Or sometimes I'll put my hands on the edge of the pool, just kind of holding on to it. And then I will kick my feet, just kind of practicing my kicking. So that's still me moving my body. Do you see how I have all these other random little things that I do? Oh, side note, I also will give myself a manicure and pedicure at the pool. So I was supposed to go to the nail salon this weekend, but I didn't end up getting paid yet from this client. So I don't feel like spending my personal money, so I'm just not going to do it. I'm just going to go down to the pool, and I'm going to bring my nail polish set. So I have my own at-home gel kit. So I need to practice with it though, because the past couple of times I used it, the gel, it was peeling off. So on my toes, it looks fine and it lasts for maybe like a week, which is still pretty bad, but still, that's better than nothing. So on my toes, the gel lasts, but then on my nails, it would always like peel off. So I need to practice using it so I can like get better, because that will also help me to like save money and then to also have a habit other than just eating food. Oh, you know what? Now that I think of it, last week, me and my friend, we were taking pictures of each other because my friend, she's about to start dating, probably within the next month or two. So I've been like helping her with her pictures and, taking photos of her like in good lighting or, while she's doing her little poses or whatever. Because my friend, she wants marriage and kids and stuff. So she's like actively trying to get that or whatever. So yeah, I'll help her take her pictures. And there's this coffee shop in my neighborhood. It is like, okay, so you know how I said I'm learning some other languages? The coffee shop is from the culture of one of the languages I'm learning. So I will sometimes go in there just by myself just so I can listen to the music that they're playing because it's in the other language. And I will bring my journal and I'll start writing down ideas for like this channel, or I'll just do an actual journal prompt. Oh, by the way, I do a lot of journaling about why I want to be thin. Why do you want to be thin? Why do you care? Why do you want to have a six pack? Why do you want your back to be skinny? Why do you want your legs to be skinny? If you had the perfect body tomorrow, what would you do? Because those are the types of things that I think about. And I was thinking about it yesterday because I ended up, like, me and my friend, so we went to the twerking thing, and then I ended up getting something from my favorite bakery, but then I didn't eat the whole thing, so I ended up saving it. And I was like, I'm going to save this because what do I want? Do I want a hot girl summer or a chunky girl summer? Which one? I got to pick a struggle. Do I want the struggle of eating the cake, or do I want the struggle of not eating the entire cake in one day? So I always question myself before I start being a beluga. So before I take a bite of the cake, I ask myself, why am I eating this cake? Why do I need this? I'm not hungry. Am I hungry right now? Am I looking for fuel? Because this is not a good version of fuel. So why am I eating this? Like, I will literally question myself. I will try to hold myself accountable. And then I think a lot about why I want to be thin. So in my case, I'm going to be in a lot of bikinis. I told you I've already been to 3 different pool settings. So 2 of them were with 2 guys that are trying to like talk to me right now, and then the other one is with my friend. And then who knows how many other pool parties I'm going to be going to this summer. And by the way, that was one of my goals because I want to use up all my swimsuits. So I'm not going to look good in my swimsuits, and I'm also not going to feel good if I'm constantly running to the bathroom because I just had a giant slushie from 7-Eleven. So I really want to look good. I want my stomach to be flat. Also, I just think about this. Like, I enjoy how it feels to just throw something on and to just walk out the door. I love that. I love that I can throw something on. I'm not staring at my stomach like, oh shit, why does my stomach look chunky? No, I like that I just throw on the strapless top. By the way, I'm loving the strapless tops right now. So I have a jean strapless top. It's like a denim top, and then the top part of it is shaped like a heart. So it's kind of like a heart shape. You know the sweetheart tops? So on your boob area, it's kind of like a crescent shape. I don't know how to describe it. But it's a denim material. So I love wearing that top with like jeans, matching jeans. I also have this other shirt. It's like a denim bra top. So it's like a bikini, like a denim bikini top. And then it has chains. It has 2 chains going down. It's a caged top. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that. But it's got 2 chains going down. Then it has a line of denim at the bottom of it. So it's kind of like a corset. Imagine a corset, but with chains instead of like the bones of the corset. So it's kind of like that sort of top. So I want to be able to wear my stuff like that. I want to be able to pull off the shirts that nobody else can pull off. And that's another thing. I have no problem admitting this. I enjoy being able to wear special clothing that other women of other body types cannot wear. I enjoy being able to wear, like, I have a green tube top. It was literally like $3 on Fashion Nova. So it's a tube top in the front. It looks very basic. Like, oh, she's just wearing a $2 little green top. No, in the back, it's all strings. The entire thing is held together by strings. So it's like very crisscrossy in the back. It almost looks like a corset, I guess you could say. So think of the corset strings, except you're just showing your back. So that's how it looks in the back. I enjoy being able to wear stuff like that. I can pull that off because I don't have back fat. I don't have a bunch of rolls. I don't have all the bra strap rolls in the back. That's the ugliest on me. I feel like that looks extremely disgusting and gross. It looks nasty. That's one of the places where the fat likes to accumulate on me. It's my ass, it's my thighs and hips. And then it's that upper back bra strap area. And then after that, the fat will go to my armpits as well. It'll go to my boobs. And if I'm not careful, it'll go to my love handle area. For whatever reason, my stomach tends to stay flat, like in the front at least, it tends to stay fat. I might get a little lower pooch, a little lower belly pooch if I become a beluga. But yeah, I like being able to show my back. I like having a small back. Oh, and by the way, when I went to the twerking class, this is exactly what I was wearing. I wore some size large leggings. So they were literally too big. They were like baggy. So the reason that I've been into wearing larger leggings is because then I can make the leggings into being low cut because I can just fold them at the bottom. Remember in the early 2000s, do you remember those leggings where you used to be able to fold it over at the waist? So I kind of like doing that with my leggings. You don't really notice that it's folded over. Sometimes I'll fold it inside of the leggings and then I'll turn my high waisted big back leggings into some low waisted leggings. So they're extra comfortable too because, they're not actually form fitting. So I went to the twerk class. I was wearing these low rise leggings, just some basic black leggings, a cutout t shirt, and some flip flops. So I walk in. As soon as I walk in, one of my friends, she's like, "Oh my God, your top is so gorgeous. You are so pretty. I just want to let you know, like, you look so pretty, Exoticals United." I was wearing a basic outfit. My shirt cost less than $5. But because I'm skinny and I have a skinny back as well, I was doing kind of this Y2K aesthetic with like this kind of showing my lower back and my lower belly button because I was just going to like work out and do the twerk class. But people compliment my shit when it's the most basic shit. My leggings were from Costco. Those were literally Costco. I wasn't wearing Lululemon. I didn't have on anything designer. I was wearing basic flip flops, just black flip flops. Speaking of flip flops, I was thinking of getting some cute, slightly more expensive flip flops because I have the flip flops that are like the platform ones. Like those are the ones that I was wearing. Those are more comfortable than the Old Navy ones. I used to wear the Old Navy ones when I was a kid, but for some reason now that I'm older, I feel like they're not as comfortable as they used to be. Oh, and speaking of Old Navy, so one of the first things I did actually when I lost weight, this is like a few years ago, once I got down to like a small, I remember I actually went into Old Navy and I was trying on, like, oh, can I fit a size small? And I remember being shocked, like, oh my God, I can fit a size small. But I bought this super cute set. It's like a tennis skirt with like a matching red top. So think of like, okay, the Adidas brand, how it has the stripes. So I have an outfit like that where it's like a skirt with the white stripes going down the side and then a white crop top, or not white, it's a red crop top with the white stripes going down the side. Um, so that's another activity that I have done as a skinny woman. And you know what? There's actually this one outfit in my closet. So I have a matching pink. It's a pink and white. I don't know why I love white. I like white with like red or white and pink or white and blue. I don't know. I like having a little bit of white. So white actually looks phenomenal on my skin tone. I'm on my Lisa Ray shit. I love white. It gives me a gorgeous tan and it just looks good. I have neutral undertones. So anyway, I have this one pink and white outfit that I kind of want to wear. I don't tend to wear that outfit often because it shows a lot of skin. It's showing a lot of cleavage. It shows a lot of my back. The skirt is extremely short, so it's showing my legs. Like my body is just out. But that outfit, whenever I wear that shit, oh my God, nobody can tell me nothing. Like that's the outfit that I was wearing. I told the story about a couple years ago where I went bar hopping with my friends, and then like one of the girls, she got mad because like I didn't really want to go to the bar because there were a bunch of black guys. Both of them like unambiguous black men. So I learned the hard way. Don't go bar hopping with them because they want to talk to all the Nigerian guys and all that shit. No shade against Nigerians, but I was wearing that outfit that night. And when I tell you, I looked like a fucking Barbie doll just because I was so skinny. I mean, I'm still skinny or whatever, but it's like, I just feel like that outfit in particular, it really highlights how skinny I actually am. Like you can't see any fat, and it's a very cheap outfit. So, the cheaper ones, you don't have any extra room. Like you can't have extra fat and stuff when you're wearing the cheap outfits because the cheaper outfits are very unforgiving. The only people that talk shit about cheap clothes are the people who don't look good in them. Of course, you're talking shit about a girl who's wearing a $5 dress because you can't wear a $5 dress and look like a model. When you wear a $5 dress, you look like a crack whore. So that's why you're mad. But I feel like when it comes to the very cheap outfits, they are extremely unforgiving. And I just remember I used to feel so self conscious. When I was a struggle medium, I would feel so self-conscious because I love skirt sets. I just love matching sets. So like the crop top that matches the skirt, or like, a top that matches the shorts, or it's like a top that matches the pants. I like stuff like that. But if you're getting those cheap outfits and it's a cheap set, it's extremely unforgiving. Every bit of fat you have is going to show through. Every lump that you have is going to show through your skirt. That little stomach pudge is going to show through your dress. It's going to show through the top of your skirt. So I used to hate like where the waistband would just squeeze me so hard, or like, I'm walking and my skirt is riding up and I feel like my ass is hanging out. I just used to hate that feeling. I would feel so self-conscious. And then especially if it's hot outside too, it doesn't get any worse than that. But being skinny, I can wear whatever the fuck I want. I can just throw something on. I can just throw on a little tank top, just throw on some jean shorts, and I'm just living my best life. Oh, and another thing that I've done so far that is not food focused. My friend's birthday just passed, and you want to know what she did? They literally went on a walk. We all went on a walk, and then we went, I think it's called foresting or foraging. It's where you pick berries and like you can pick flowers, and basically you just like collect different plants and stuff. That's literally what she did as her birthday party. So that's what I mean when I say getting friends that are compatible with you, getting friends that have the same femininity expression as you, getting friends that have the same hobbies as you. So my friend, she's into fitness and she's also into wellness and plants, and she's vegan and she's very like earthy. She has like this long pretty afro and everything. So that's another activity that had nothing to do with food. Oh, also the 4th of July is coming up. They're going to have a huge festival in my city. I don't know who I'm going to go with, but I am going to go with somebody. We're going to do something. As a matter of fact, I should probably order my outfit now so it can come in time. I'm just going to order a little $5 top or something. Or those jean shorts that have like a flag on them or whatever. I don't know. I might do something like that. I know a lot of black people don't like 4th of July. I don't really give a fuck. I love fireworks and fucking hot dogs and watermelons and like but they have a festival in my city where you can watch the fireworks. They've got a bunch of vendors. They have DJs there. They have a parade. So I'm probably going to go to that with one of my friends. Um, my family will also be visiting me too later. So it's going to be my mom, dad, auntie, uncle, my brother. So they're all coming here. And we're just going to all hang out. So that's going to be us walking as well. So I have a lot of plans going on that just don't center around food. A lot of people who overeat, it's because they don't have enough events going on. Like they're kind of like sitting around ruminating. They're sitting around like just thinking about stuff. I don't know. I feel like I interact with real life. I'm interacting with real life. I love the city I live in. I was just thinking about that yesterday. When I was driving to my class, I was thinking, oh my God, I live in my fucking dream city. Like, this is awesome. This is awesome. Like, I am so happy that I live here. I was just randomly thinking it while I was driving. So I interact with life a lot. I interact with a lot of people. I don't sit around in the house. That's why I say usually skinny girls tend to have hobbies outside of the house. I'm not talking about sitting around, you're knitting or you're drawing and stuff. And that's not a bad thing. Like, those are hobbies too. But generally speaking, hobbies outside of the house help to keep me skinny. That helps to keep me thin. So I told you guys about how I went to the health bar. Maybe I'll go there again this weekend. I miss going there. I went to the health bar. It's where they sell like chocolate covered dates. So they have desserts that are like fruits basically. So they have all these different chocolate covered dates. You can get the pistachio ones. You can get like chocolate and peanut butter ones. Um, but me and my friends, we might like run a 5K randomly, or we might just walk, just getting our steps in. Like one of my other friends, we were supposed to go walking by the lake, but we didn't end up going because she wasn't feeling well. But she said that she wants to get better by moving her body more. So my friend, she has like a chronic illness, and so, but if she doesn't move her body, it makes it worse. So me and her, we're going to be setting up a weekly schedule this summer, and we're going to be out by the lake every single week, and that's going to be us just kind of spilling the tea and just like talking our shit. I want to get some hair growth tips from her as well cuz she's already at my hair length goal. She's past tailbone length. So I want to talk to her about that too. And we're just going to walk and just have fun. But what do you ladies think? Let me know in the comment section and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty, ladies.